This was just after 11 p.m. This was in the 700 block of North Elmwood Avenue. We had a call of a man that was refusing to leave, and so that's why the officers responded. We had officers that came up to this apartment. There's two different doors, one on the north, one on the south. We had one officer that entered the building on the north side. Basically, as soon as he entered the building, the suspect was inside, began shooting at the officer. The officer was thankfully able to get out of the building. The other officer on the other end of the building saw and heard the gunshots and started returning fire. They ended up holding a perimeter, and then we had more officers that came to the area to assist. Once they were able to get inside the building, they found the suspect had died of a gunshot wound to the head. It's pretty standard in situations like this where an officer shoots his gun to call in Division of Criminal Investigation to be an independent, agency to investigate this. And so that's what happened in this case. So we don't have a whole lot of information that more than what I was given in the press release that I'm going to be able to share because it's still under investigation and because DCI is the lead agency. One of the things I was hoping to do this morning was to give out the name of the suspect, but DCI is, I'll say they're really close on identifying, but they're not 100% sure on his identity at this point. So I'm going to keep his name. We believe he's a 19-year-old, but again, we're not 100% sure on that. So as soon as I have that information, we'll be able to release that. Outside of that, we're assisting them in any way possible. The officer that was shot at, the first one, had some minor injuries but did not require any hospitalization, no medical treatment, and both officers are on administrative leave, and that's just consistent with our policy, so nothing out of the ordinary as far as that goes. But I'll try to answer any questions if you have any.
The suspect was refusing to leave the apartment?
The call was that he was refusing to leave, yeah, and I guess I think it was a particular apartment inside there, and obviously the officers never got to that specific apartment. And I know there's a lot of speculation that's been out there too on the cause of death. I've seen things on social media saying one thing or another. At this point, we don't have a specific cause of death. So there's an autopsy that's going to be taking place in the next day or two. Again, DCI is running that, so once that's completed, they'll have that information, but we'll probably have to wait till their investigation is complete before we're able to give out all of the details.
And so the officer entered from the north side, heard shots after he walked in, then ran out.
The officer walked into the building on the north side, and basically the suspect began firing at him.
Was that like through the walls of the apartment? Or?
The suspect was in the hallway.
Oh,
yeah, he wasn't in an apartment. And so that officer on the north side left the building. It was the other officer on the other side, the south side of the building, that began firing his gun.
I see. It was just the one officer that got this?
Yes, yes. Well, I didn't hear of anything from the other officer, so.
In the 700 block of Elmwood?
700 block of North Elmwood Avenue, which is near Elmwood and Burnside. It's a little bit south of there.
You said the suspect was 19?
Well, we don't know. We haven't confirmed his identity. We believe he may be a 19-year-old, but so that just kind of give you an, a possible range of his, or idea of his age, I guess. I'll put it that way. Is, we're waiting on confirmation, so as soon as we know for sure this is who he is, and when I was talking with the DCI investigator, he was pretty confident but not quite 100% sure, and so that's why we want to make sure that this is who we say it is.
Do we know the deceased? Was it self-inflicted or?
Yeah, I just was talking about that. So there's a lot of speculation about how he died, the manner of his injury or the cause of his injury. We don't have that information yet. So DCI is running the investigation. They're the lead agency on this, and we asked them to take over this investigation. So we have an independent agency that's looking at it. There'll be an autopsy that'll be done in the next day or two. I'm not sure if that's going to give us the answer, but hopefully we'll have an answer from that, but we'll have to wait till their investigation is done, and then we'll have probably all the answers that we're looking for. But at this point, we just have very limited information, and we don't know how he died. We just know that he had died of a gunshot wound to the head.
Is that standard procedure to get an independent investigation?
Yeah, and we do that just to make sure that there's no issues about, you know, that we are investigating our own officers. So we always request DCI to come in, so we've got an independent, obviously we work closely with DCI, but we assist them in a situation like this and do whatever we can to help them, but this is their investigation, and so we stand back and let them handle it.
Do you know how many times that officer returned fire at all?
I don't. That'll be something that they'll be able to determine in the final report.